Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, today the League of Ordinary Gentlemen proudly bring to you the Fantasy Football 5. Introducing Balls to the Wall, Brian Roberts. Quick Wit, Slow Feet, Ryan Roberts. Jake, Coach Ruth. And JT, the Commish.
Yay!
Always love it. Always love it. Happy Halloween.
Thank you, dude. Happy Halloween to you as well.
Oh, forgot about this. So, who are you? Who are you for? Is this your Halloween thing?
Connery?
Yeah.
Sure.
Are you dressed up as him? Maybe.
All you gotta do is lay in the bed. Robertson. James Robertson.
Too soon.
He did die this morning. But it's Sean Connery.
Okay.
I mean, great, wonderful, good guy.
Do we need to restart?
No. I think we're good.
I mean, you've said much worse. I can live with this. Yes.
Okay.
This is nowhere near anything.
Yeah. I know what the worst thing is I said on the podcast. Yeah, just do the voice, pale face.
I can't even do the voice now. It's ruined.
Sorry. Look, I told y'all not to get your hopes up. All right, I said it out the gate.
You having a good Halloween?
So far,
yeah,
it's been all right.
What kind of candy y'all giving out tonight? If you have trick or treaters,
I'm on quarantine.
We gonna throw it out the door.
Get a potato gun and just shoot it from the end of the driveway.
Hey, pirate! Gertie!
Button hook! Come back to me!
No, are you getting candy for trick or treaters?
Look, we all know why Brian likes Halloween.
Giving candy to strange kids, or
No.
your certain neighbor that you missed a couple times.
There's a neighbor. There's a neighbor. What Brian likes to see that everybody knows about. Comes by every Halloween. Found out a couple years ago she does bring kids.
Haven't gotten down that far.
No. We'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
You weren't there last year though.
I was not. I wasn't there the year before either. He called me and said you just missed her.
She flirted with me a little bit.
I was. She probably didn't. I was going on Spring Garden, making the turn down Merritt. I was going under the bridge. Everything was going good. Brian's on track. He's going to make it. It's going to be close. But
Come on, Brian, you can do it.
And then he called me. He just left.
You didn't follow her down the street, did you? Because that might.
He did go looking
I
for
might have made a lap or two, but that's relevant.
in the truck or on foot.
I
can't
Give
give away from
here
that.
nor
I
there.
can either confirm or deny.
But yes to both.
Yourself, Halloween.
We haven't had any trick or treaters since we've been living, where we're living now. So I might pick up some candy just in case. But dude, the thing is, like, if I pick up candy, I'm just leaving it on the door, like outside.
Oh, you're one of those please
Oh,
take
you're that
one
guy.
people?
No, they can take as much as they want. I don't really care.
You know what? I saw a hack.
What if I just put an
Yesterday.
empty bowl
That-
out there?
that's
like
exactly-
I've done that.
You put a bowl out there that says please take one and there's no candy in there. So you think, oh, all the other kids must have got it already.
I just ain't trying to have the dogs go crazy all night. Which there ain't many kids.
We
around.
played many a Call of Duty non-Halloween and the dogs go crazy.
Yeah, so I don't want kids showing up in my. But that hasn't happened.
Well,
Like, we just don't like.
You
Our
never
road's
once
pretty-
had a trick or treat.
No, our road's pretty busy, but it's like with fast traffic. People don't need to be trick or treating.
No, they do not.
Through where I live.
I haven't been at
That's
home
part of the game.
on Halloween night in like 6 years because it's always go trick or treating with the nephews. So
Mhm.
I could have had kids come by the house. I couldn't tell you.
This neighborhood gets pretty busy, right?
This is apparently like
A hot
Shaw Street. of
No, there's
Arch-
nothing like Shaw Street. 'Cause
Of Arch.
there were 7,000 kids
Yeah,
in that
apparently
neighborhood.
when they canceled Halloween last year, was it a storm?
Yeah, big storm came through.
Oh
And
yeah.
they canceled it.
Missed it last year too.
This road was literally on the news for like West Haven Lane as canceled trick or treating.
Canceled
Really?
culture.
Yes. So I feel like it could be a big deal.
These people ain't gonna listen to Cooper.
I don't know, but when they rescheduled it, I wasn't here because I think we had a football game when it got rescheduled.
All right, so let me ask you this question.
I haven't bought any candy.
Nah, gummit, son, you got to go get candy.
Well, I live.
You're a
outside.
teacher. They know who you are. They think, oh, this guy's a teacher who loves kids. Bring
So-
kids by.
Throws apples at them.
Right. Don't throw apples. Go buy some candy.
Granola bars.
Yeah, that was
A
bad.
bag of chips.
We
Well,
weren't
you did
expecting-
those kids a favor. They don't need all that sugar.
Need to have that
I think there was potato chips.
on Big
Okay.
Daddy where he breaks
I mean,
into the guy's house and
it
he
had
takes
those.
his watch.
Yeah, we didn't
Remember that?
Yes,
scene?
it
Yeah.
have
Granola's a
chips.
lot healthier than.
Kids just say that you're gonna be the same guy. Like, oh,
There's-
hey, I'm a dentist. Here's some toothpaste.
There's really
here's
honestly
toothpaste.
one person I look for every year, and it's not her. There's this guy that I don't know what his job is. He works real late.
Is he single?
Well, he's got a kid, so maybe I
That
don't
doesn't
know.
mean
Is it the
anything
magic
anymore.
pumpkin?
So he works, and all the
James
kids,
the
all the
Giant
trick or
Peach?
treaters, they come out early, like 5, 6 o'clock. So normally when they
Before it
come
gets
back.
dark?
Yeah.
So he's not a freak because they come out at night.
So well, he does because all the trick or treaters are gone, and about 8:45, 9 o'clock, he comes around with his kid, and I hate it because the kid doesn't get the full feel. Doesn't see all the other kids dressed up. And all
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
He's just going house to house. So I like to save candy for him.
Oh, that's sweet.
I usually give him a lot of candy.
That's sweet of you. What do they say when they knock on the door?
They don't really say trick or treat. They just kind of like it's an expectation. Like here we are.
That's it?
Yeah.
There's no formality to this anymore?
Well, I usually I say, oh look at you, you're no.
You had a 9 dress?
Yeah, man.
Oh, man, that neighborhood's
crazy. It's
crazy.
expensive to put together.
Now, did you have the parent that sit in the back like, what do you say? Did you say thank you? Go back and say thank you.
Guilford County.
Because I had one of those.
That's true. People
Guilford
don't even
County,
hold the
no.
door for each other in Guilford County. All right. Well, from trick or treat to trick or trade.
I thought you were going to say smell my feet.
I ain't got that.
Okay.
Master of the segues
I'll
over there,
scratch that one
commish.
off.
Look at him.
You got it. You got it. So we have 4 trades go down this week.
It ain't tricking if you got it.
It ain't tricking. Okay. We have 4 trades go down this week. 4. We had 5. We had 15.
We're going 10 or 15.
Just
Got it.
yeah. All right. So we did have 4 trades go this week. I was involved in 3 of them, so I'm just going to call them out. You guys talk about
Play
it.
it out,
I'll talk
play
about
it
me and Jake. I guess take the lead.
Jake and I.
Jake and okay. What am I? English teacher? No.
Apparently.
Jake and I'll take the lead on the trade that involves Brian and Ryan. But all right, we'll just roll down the list of the order they went in. All right, Darren Waller, Antonio Brown. This actually went down last, made official
Tuesday on the
last
27th.
Tuesday.
That's when it processed.
Look at this.
Brian's got a stainless shirt.
You've
Back
had
to you,
that
JT.
since I saw you today.
Really?
Yeah, it's been there the entire time as soon as you took the coat off.
Yeah, I didn't.
Well,
say
I'm not
anything.
going to point out your flaws.
Look,
You got a
Shirt
stain on
too,
your shirt,
ain't it?
though.
Why do I keep getting ink? on
I
my
don't
clothes?
know how
Do
you
you have
get
a
ink on
pen
your
in your
clothes.
pocket?
No, I don't.
What about your jacket?
Don't ask what's in the pocket. All right, go ahead with the trade.
Oh, well, Darren Waller for Antonio Brown.
Let me look at it. I'm pulling up.
Okay, it was between me and Broach. Broach wanted a tight end. and-
Broach
I wanted to
benefits
receive.
immediately
For sure.
because Darren Waller is a top 5 tight end, and Antonio Brown really wasn't going to crack his roster, I don't think. But playing a lone play, Antonio Brown was the best receiver in football as short as 2 years ago. So
You know
We
my
don't know.
thoughts on Antonio Brown.
he's crazy.
Can't trust him.
Yeah, I mean,
got
I know,
rid of-
I
held
know
on to
you
him.
don't
I
trust.
held on to him for 3 teams. So,
You're
well, is there?
you're a
you-
little
you
biased because
obviously
of the
have to do-
stink. You're biased because of the stink.
Right, right.
And I get that.
I
I've
mean,
been there.
if he plays, he's one of the best. Did you do research on him? Timetables and all that.
4 plus 4. 4 times 4. 5 times 5.
I'm good at those.
What
Yeah,
I know,
calculation,
we
man.
made
Up
that
till
here today.
12. Once you
So-
get past 12,
That's not on the table.
What's the expectations for him? Give me that
the expectations for him that he's going to be immediately involved in the offense.
immediately.
Chris
involved.
Godwin
So
is out
tomorrow
this week.
he's in.
No,
No,
he
can't play.
he's suspended through 8 weeks. He can begin.
So week 9 he's on.
he can step on week 9.
Yeah.
The one kicker is that his bye is week 13.
He plays receiver.
We
He
don't
does.
have kickers.
That was kind of the spot where I was a little nervous about, so I won't have him in that last week before
So you traded
fantasy
for him,
playoffs.
and you trade for him in week 8.
Mhm.
But you can't use him in week 8.
Mhm.
So then you can use him 9, 10, 11, 12, miss him in 13, and then the playoffs start.
Hmm.
So you trade for him with 6 weeks, and you don't get to use him 2 out of those 6 when the
Mhm.
playoff starts.
Let's talk about the benefits of Brown's signing with Tampa Bay compared to Seattle. I was a little bit more wanting him to go to Seattle because I have Russell Wilson, so that is a biased comment on my behalf.
But they've already got a suspended wide receiver if Josh Gordon could ever come back.
Well, but I like the idea of him in the offense that was throwing it a lot. The benefit of him going to Tampa Bay, in my opinion, is that he's played with Tom Brady.
Yeah.
And he's played under Bruce Arians, so there's comfort, at least maybe knowing a little bit of the system, knowing the quarterback, timing a little bit. I know JT will probably agree to this as well. As like when he was playing, he was one of the best, but he hasn't really been in football consistently in a while. So is he going to be able? Is he going to be able to acclimate quickly? Like Gordon took that long off, and he wasn't the same when he came back.
Yeah. But
Now-
Gordon was a repeat offender.
Gordon hasn't been consistently in football since he was like 12 years old until he started smoking.
But, I mean, we're also talking about a guy who can't join until week 9.
That's true.
Right. Which, I mean, it's already week 8, though, so that.
He's in a situation. Either way, I think either Seattle or Tampa, those were good fits for him.
Any offense where he can step on the field is good offense for him.
But,
Because,
I mean, it's
especially with Brady, because Brady doesn't lock onto one guy. He just throws to whoever's open. Good thing about Antonio Brown is he's always open because he might be the best route runner I've seen ever.
Let's switch over to Waller.
Apart from maybe Travis Ruth. Obviously. Man, that dude was on the sticks, just turning around
Ready.
wide
Wasn't
open.
ready. All right. Well, Darren Waller, what do you got to say about him, bro?
It solidifies his team.
Yeah, Broach's team got better.
It's
You
complete
could
now.
not. Good question.
Mhm.
Would this trade have been available? I don't know, like next week.
I was worried that if I didn't pull the trigger soon enough, that I wouldn't be able to get him.
I mean, thanks for considering me in this whole equation. I
Man,
appreciate you.
Waller's been burning a hole in his pocket since like week 3.
Well,
Well, he's got one hand in his pocket and the other one's held in a taxi cab.
Lennox Morissette
A lot of
reference. You
Morissette.
don't get that everywhere.
You get it. You get it from me.
Just
You're
get it.
hanging out.
Did you have any concerns about Waller moving forward? I guess?
No, I think Waller's top 5 tight end, and I've said that. I've said that from week 1, and I'll still say.
Yeah, I
that.
mean,
think Waller's legit. I just I need a little bit more flexibility, and having a tight end in your flex does kind of tie your hands a little bit. I need a little bit more flexibility, and I need receivers. So
Waller's
for me, I thought that was the best move for my team, and that does make Broach's team better. He probably got the better end of the deal, and I can live with that
he got the safer end of the deal.
for sure.
He did.
That's no doubt.
I don't think he was ever going to play Brown, to be honest with you.
No,
He would be. He would
I
be playing
think
Brown.
I
in
think
his,
Brown got picked up for this purpose.
He would have been playing Brown in his
Not-
flex
Yeah, not
Ma-
Waller,
if
so-
possible.
because Devontae, Tyler Lockett, and Cooper are never coming out of his lineup.
But he did.
Barring
Cooper-
bye
Cooper-
weeks.
Cooper is. I'm not saying Cooper would come out of his lineup, but I think that debate could be had.
That's why I moved. That's
There's
why I
no
listed
risk
Cooper
in it.
I
last.
still
he has
think Cooper's
Brown
a
on his
higher
bench-
play than Brown every week.
Right, but if he has Brown on his
He's
bench,
the number.
Well,
and he's looking in 2-3 weeks, Brown gets 15 points consistently, then he can throw Brown in his lineup,
Well, yeah.
and he's good. He can sit and let Brown test.
but he just still had a hole in that tight end spot.
he
That
would
now
yeah.
that Brown couldn't have filled. Now
Yeah.
Waller can fill that every week for him.
But he's also only got 2 losses on the year, so
Yeah.
tight end wasn't killing him.
Fingers crossed for 3.
Yeah,
All right, you wanna jump
Broach
in the
has
next
the
one?
highest win streak right now,
Yeah.
4 straight. Yeah, okay. Well, second trade between me and Jordan. This trade was Henry Ruggs and J.K. Dobbins for Giovanni Bernard and Jarvis Landry.
Now, obviously, you wanted Landry to replace Odell Beckham. Is that
I didn't send. This wasn't my idea. I wasn't going after Jarvis. Jordan actually sent me Jarvis for J.K. Dobbin. I went to accept it, and he canceled it real quick on me.
He'll do that. He will do that.
So then we ended up sending 4 or 5 trades back to each other, and this is what we ended up agreeing on: is Jarvis and Gio for Ruggs and Dobbins. So
I've seen Gio's name pop up a lot the past week.
with Joe Mixon being injured,
Yeah.
Gio got inserted last week and did pretty well, and he's getting the start this week as well. They do go into a bye next week, so you got to
But-
imagine that Gio's just a
And he's a pass catcher
Who'd you
That's
on
send
the
this
team that
way?
passes more than any
Who
other
did I
team.
send to Jordan?
Yeah.
Henry Ruggs and J.K. Dobbins.
Now, do you think he wanted J.K. to handcuff Mark Ingram?
I think that was part of it, just to kind of because he's trying to find.
He's not
guys
trying to
with
find
running backs.
running backs because I've sent him like 17 of them,
Well,
and he doesn't like them.
he wanted J.K. Dobbins and he wanted Ruggs, which
I mean, he increased his running back floor a little bit.
Yeah, I mean for sure. Because I mean,
With
when
the
With the way some running backs, especially rookie running backs, have been emerging here lately,
Yeah.
I think he was willing to take that opportunity.
Right.
Which to him it was a flexible play. Like he could trade away what he traded away because it wasn't like something he had to have in his lineup for something where he was like, this could be a beneficial to my lineup. I felt like JT did the same thing on his side. Like these were flexible guys on his team to try to shore up some spots that he needed help in.
Yeah.
So both trades so far I felt like made sense for both sides.
if
Like,
you look at this trade, Gio and Jarvis have been in the league for a while, both of them.
Mhm.
They're not going to explode for 20 or 30 points.
No.
neither one of them in their current roles are going to get less than 6 or 7 a week just because they're consistent.
Mhm.
Whereas Ruggs and Dobbins are both rookies that you have no clue what they could do.
A little bit more volatile.
But they've got the possibility to blow up. But I mean,
I think
for me,
Jarvis
I'd rather have the stability than the chance of getting a 0.
I think that's what's better for my team because I do have a couple guys.
You got some guys that can be some home run hitters, but if you get like you had last week or 2 weeks ago,
Odell,
where Derrick Henry and Odell have had monster weeks, but then the other guys are getting 2 to 3 to 0.
I think Jarvis gets more touchdown looks.
He's really favoring some of them tight ends.
He is.
Harrison
And-
Bryant.
He is.
Which was a great
Which
play
Jarvis has
today
never
in
been a
fantasy.
touchdown guy, even when he was in
No,
Miami.
he's
He, I think,
like-
had one season where he had maybe
He's
like 6.
receptioning yard. Like he'll get you 10 receptions for like 80
A
yards.
Crowder type.
yeah, well, I like that.
Yeah, he does like
I like
crowds. But the thing is with
Nobody's going to make fun of that.
I do-
Nobody's
I
gonna
do
tell
them
me
all
it's
the
a
time.
horrible joke.
I expect it.
I think
Yeah.
the one thing to kind of look at with Jarvis is like he's a consistent pass catcher and gets volume, but Baker likes taking bigger shots
Yeah.
than what in Miami where he got force fed like
Pepper
12
target
receptions a game.
Mhm.
It's Baker is going to take bigger shots, and then they check it to the running back a lot, which you get the benefit from because you got Kareem Hunt, who's his checkdown guy.
You get enough
Uh,
too. I think Landry's going to be a little bit.
I think in the red zone, I don't think that's where Jarvis really shines.
It's
I
not.
think it's tight end heavy and running game heavy in the red zone for the Browns.
Cleveland's or Baker Mayfield looks better.
Well, even
without
Odell,
having to feed
he-
Odell.
All his touchdowns came from
Yeah,
distance.
yeah,
I mean, that's just who they are.
All right.
Yeah.
All
But
right. What's your next one?
again, real quick before we move on, that JT benefits either way because if Jarvis gets him to the red zone and then Kareem Hunt runs it in, it's still 6 points.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter which one gets it as long as you get the points.
Well, I mean, he's losing the Beckham points. This shrinks the loss a little bit.
Well, no,
Yeah.
I meant from
well,
like
it feels
Jarvis
like-
not getting touchdowns. That's fine as long
If
as
Jarvis
the
doesn't get him,
But
then
what
Kareem
that's what
Hunt
I'm
gets
saying.
him.
Yeah, that's
But that Rashard Higgins, though.
That
Put
Rashard
that
Higgins.
Rashard
All right, what's your
Higgins
next one?
down. All right, the next trade had to be pushed through just because of the timing of it. It was Teddy Bridgewater and Jonnu Smith for Matt Ryan. Jake, you go ahead and start with this one. We'll talk about this and kind of go to them a little bit later.
I voted for it on draft night, and I still believed it every week since. I think Brian has the best team in fantasy football. I think his only weakness was at tight end, and he just got a guy who sometimes I think his role's been decreased with the AJ Brown coming back in terms of like especially red zone targets. AJ Brown's gotten a lot of those, but Jonnu helps Brian's lineup. And then I asked you to try to find another weakness in it. He had a quarterback that he's never going to play after a bye week with Kyler Murray because Kyler Murray's not coming out, and traded it to Ryan, who after losing Dak needed a quarterback. It has very good matchups moving forward. I think that was Ryan's biggest need was like he had a position where who's your tight end coming off the IR where another one just went away?
Dallas Goddard. He's
Goddard,
actually
that's it.
active. He's going to play this week.
So Goddard coming off IR with Ertz going on it. Philly trying to find a little bit of a rhythm. Maybe he kind of reemerges in there. So Ryan felt good about making that trade.
Sure.
I mean, I thought it was Brian got better and Ryan helped make up the difference where he had lost Dak, where he was kind of struggling to find those points.
Okay, I was going to offer Ryan for Bridgewater straight up, but that wouldn't have got accepted because Brian benefits none out of it. Back to y'all.
He's probably right.
Yeah, I like the Jonnu addition. I think that gives you well, you got 3 tight ends. Jimmy Graham, he's going to be touchdown dependent. You've got Hunter Henry and Jonnu, which I think honestly I think personally I would lean Jonnu, but either way you could play the matchups.
Right.
So
Sure,
it does
well,
give you
Michael.
some.
No, I'm getting ready because McCaffrey comes off this week, so I've got they're in line to be dropped.
Yeah.
And he's got, I mean, like Brian's just on a bad week because of everyone that's hurt or on a bye. Robertson, Hopkins, Murray, McCaffrey, Godwin. I mean, you're looking at what should be like a 1 through 5 round pick, like
Yeah, they're
all by our hour at the same time. So, I mean, if there was ever a time to kind of do a trade like that and accept the loss of a week, it was kind of this week, anyways.
Yeah, and I thought Ryan, I thought you did well getting Matt Ryan because I do think that's a boost for you at QB. With that going down. So yeah, I think it's a good
With
trade.
that going down, it's like I've been looking every
Gotta
single
make
week.
points.
And
It's hard to string
Roethlisberger
QBs.
and Stafford, I thought were reliable, and they both had down weeks when I had them. So
I mean, he was the strength of your team, man. He was putting up he put up 48 one week.
he had I think a 3-week span where he put up like 130 or 140.
Like, if I didn't have Russell Wilson, I'd be 0-12. We've only played 7 weeks.
All right.
What's your next one?
Well, this one is in the pending process. I'll have to kind of look at the timing tomorrow. This may have to be pushed through. I'm not quite sure. The last trade is pending between me and Scorp. Made a lot of moves this week. I'm getting to that desperation stage.
Now, did the Odell Beckham Jr. injury make you start scrambling, or you just wanted to start making some moves?
The AB was to shore up my receivers, and then Odell got hurt.
Okay.
And so that put me into a little bit of a scramble.
Gotcha.
So, dang it, I clicked on the wrong thing. So the trade between me and Scorp, while this is pulling up, is Sterling Shepard and Nelson Aguilar for Boston Scott. This was based on original trade that Scorp sent me. Same two players, Sterling Shepard and Nelson Aguilar for Boston Scott and Latavius Murray. I wouldn't do it for both. I tried to get Madison from him because I like having that lotto ticket at running back. But either way, this is what we ended up on.
Now, this works out for Scorp because he's got an injured Miles Sanders, so he wants to shore up that Eagles backfield and handcuff himself. And then it benefits you because you've been asking for wide receiver depth all year because A.J. Green until 2 weeks ago was absolutely terrible. And then you lose Odell. And then DJ Chark, who knows what's going on in Jacksonville. So you get two receivers that one of them just came off the IR and the other one learned how to catch a football in the past 12 months. Yeah. So you got a chance.
Yeah, that's just what I'm looking for.
And you apparently wanted Las Vegas Raider pass catcher because you get rid of Waller and you get rid of Henry Ruggs. You're like, I got to get one back.
Didn't feel right.
Hunter Renfrow, maybe not. No Raider.
So that was done just to kind of give myself just some room.
Some options.
Yeah.
And you're not going to – Boston Scott's not going to start in one of your two running back spots ever. So
he did last week mainly just because I started him over Waller last week, just had a feeling.
Yeah, but that's your – I'm talking about –
but
you give your team flexibility
right
now, and he's not going to start over Hunt or Henry.
No, neither way.
And his last name doesn't start with an H, so he can't start right.
Yeah, I guess that's right. He can. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, from fantasy trades to real life trades, we got a little best case scenario or best fit scenario, if you will. So there have been a couple players that have been the subject of trade talk around the NFL that do have fantasy implications. Okay, so I'm gonna name a player. I want you to tell me what NFL team you think this player would maybe be a good fit in. Potentially the best fit for either the player or the team. All right, so that's the first one. This first one. All right, Ryan. Will Fuller. Give me a team. Best fit for Will Fuller or team that needs Will Fuller.
Can we all pick a different team?
Yeah.
All right, I'll go first. Green Bay Packers.
Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, they need somebody on the other side because Lazard hadn't come off the IR yet, and Marquez Valdez-Scantling is not the answer.
Is he coming back? Lazard coming
Yeah,
back?
he started practicing.
Yeah,
but
he's already
back.
recovering. Yeah.
Okay.
But Will Fuller is a great receiver that I don't know if Houston's going to want to sign long term because of his injury history, but it would be a great last run.
It would
for
open
Packers.
up a lot underneath.
Okay.
Thank you, Aaron Jones.
So do you think Green Bay as well, Jake?
Well, I want to pick someone different. According to it, that would be the best fit. I think it would take some of the pressure off Devontae Adams, which apparently no NFL team can figure out how to cover because everyone knows they're going to throw the ball to him, but he still gets like 18 receptions.
He's got a ton of size, and he's still a good
runner. I know. It's incredible to me. If I did not say there, if the 49ers are really going to try to make a push, I could see the 49ers trying to go for a guy like that. They've been trying to find someone to take a top off the defense to open up more underneath for Kittle. Kittle's really been about their only threat. Most of their receivers have gotten more involved in jets than they have in downfield pass catching.
I mean, Emmanuel Sanders was fantastic on offense last year.
So I could see the 49ers making a push for him, and that could be a guy they might even try to sign long term because of how much Shanahan wants to stretch the field. That's something he's talked pretty adamantly about.
Because they're successful spreading it east and west right now, but they don't really have anybody to spread it north and south.
There's not. I mean, I don't have any faith in Will Fuller. So if there was a team that
is
could
it injury? Is it injury related?
Injury. Yeah, I mean, when he's on the field. But the thing is, my clock of Will Fuller already being out,
Times Square.
I'm not going to. So he should already be gone. So I'm just, if there was a team that could really benefit from him, I don't know. Maybe New Orleans.
Kind of like that one with Michael Thomas working underneath and that on top.
Well, there's controversy around Michael Thomas. I don't know where that stands. It's something comes up every week now.
I agree with you 100%. I think the only thing that would make me nervous about that is his arm strength. Brees's.
That's the thing. He's losing a step every week.
Yeah.
Every week.
In the past, that would be a no-brainer,
Right.
in my opinion. With Brees with a strong arm getting it downfield, him taking the top off with Michael Thomas working underneath and Kamara in the screen game running the
But
ball.
if New Orleans is going to try and keep up with Tampa, they're going to have to make a move.
All right, I can see that.
So Will Fuller would be somewhat safe for him.
New Orleans.
Yeah, I can see that.
JT?
I think I wouldn't have thought this a couple weeks ago, but I do now. I think Philadelphia. They're
Deprived.
they're in the playoff hunt, which is kind of wild to think of. They're in the playoff hunt. Deshaun Jackson's on the IR. Alshon Jeffrey. I'm just at this point where I don't know if Alshon Jeffrey is going to step on the field. I've lost a lot of faith in that.
Jalen Rager's coming off the IR this week.
Jalen Rager is coming off the IR, and that is a lot of speed.
But if they're going to make a push to win that division, which is god awful, and I don't know who else is going to win it, I agree with you.
Yeah, Washington.
I mean, how many eggs are you putting in that basket? No offense.
What, Philadelphia?
No,
They can't even name that
Washington,
team.
not many.
But
Philadelphia is their
that's
division
what
to
I'm
lose.
saying. I agree with you on that, and I think you had a guy like him to take what Deshaun Jackson used to mean for that team before he injuries, and I mean he's just not the same player. Just kind of lose a step over a period of time. But Fuller, if healthy in that offense, could really help Wentz, who's starting to find a rhythm.
He does like to throw a lot of deep balls, and that's not in the cards right now.
Well, Jalen Rager has that type of skill set when he was at TCU, but he played like 1 week and got hurt, so we don't know what he is.
That's my thing. Is there's a lot of unpredictability there, and I think Will Fuller could be a good addition to Philly for that reason. All right.
Nice call.
Next one is AJ Green. I know we've been talking about him on and off all year.
Why don't you kick that one off there, Commish?
Me kick off this one with AJ Green. Okay, so I guess with AJ Green, the only I guess when I look at AJ Green, he has to go to a team that he's not going to be the number one option. Number two option is still maybe. So looking at AJ Green, a team where I could see that he would fit in, I would probably go with oddly enough, I could see him going to somewhere like
Anticipation's killing.
Chicago.
Oddly,
I could see him going somewhere like Chicago because they don't need anybody that's gonna
catch passes.
AJ Green can still catch
wide
passes.
receiver now.
I think a lot of it was just kind of him working back in, like getting some of that knocking the rust off.
He hadn't played football in like almost 18 months or
He's
something.
burnt out on Cincinnati.
I
don't think he
I
wants to be
could
part of
too.
the rebuild.
Are we all?
Chicago, they have Allen Robinson, and then after that, they have been looking to try to get Anthony Miller involved. He's not it. Mooney, he's just kind of right now just a deep threat. Yeah. I think they need tight ends, and Jimmy Graham's caught some touchdowns.
Yeah.
I think they need a more consistent receiving option. The running game hasn't looked too good. They're throwing Cordell Patterson back there, so I think they're going to have to throw it, especially that's kind of a lot of their games have been. They've been throwing the ball a lot. I think AJ Green could be a good fit there. Is it the best fit? Maybe not, but I think both kind of have a need for each other. AJ Green to be a little bit more involved, and Chicago, I think they do need another receiving threat.
Brian, you got a team?
I did.
You have another one?
It was
Who
Chicago?
was it?
Yeah, it was Chicago.
Okay. Great minds think
I
alike.
could see him going to Green Bay.
Yeah.
I could see him being
They just need help.
a lower. He's a lower.
The cheaper option.
Yeah, he's a cheaper option for Green Bay. And I think he would fit the role perfectly. I think his veteran knowledge with Aaron Rodgers, I think would actually work out very well. And I think he would have a resurgence in Green Bay.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It would be the best quarterback he's ever played with by far.
Whoa. Red rifle.
And I think it would.
I think you said about anywhere he goes, just about.
Well, that's true. Buffalo was another team I was thinking of.
Okay.
He's what, wide receiver 3 in Buffalo?
Yeah, maybe.
Probably, yeah.
I don't.
Got Beasley working the slot. John Brown, if he ever gets
And then
healthy,
Diggs.
Right.
and then Diggs.
Yeah, Diggs is definitely the number one.
Yeah.
Right. Diggs
No
got-
doubt about
yeah,
that.
And John Brown's
Between
healthy.
there,
It's up in there.
yeah.
It's just John Brown can't get healthy right now.
Practice fully past couple weeks, or past couple days. He's supposed to be healthy this week, but you never know.
Mhm.
I like the Colts for AJ
Oh,
Green,
that's good.
but he can roll more underneath and in the slot, which is how Cincinnati's using the past couple weeks instead of just going over the top like he used to with Andy Dalton. And Phillip Rivers likes to throw it deep, but he's kind of lost a little zip on his shot put fastball. So having a wide receiver that can get open in the short and intermediate routes and allow Rivers to check it down to him might unlock that offense a little bit and allow Jonathan Taylor to do some work on the ground game, which is what they need to base their offense of. I think AJ Green could unlock that offense. So
He's the key.
no,
He could be the key.
he's the knob. Rivers is the key. You stick that P rib in, you're good to go.
He does have like
Talking
11 kids.
Well, he made a door analogy, so I just rolled with it and I just walked through it.
YouTube's gonna flag the mess out of this one.
All right, Jake, what do you think?
Another team that I kind of like. They've been struggling here the last couple of weeks, but I still think there's high expectations there. I think it's also something they've done in the past where they've traded for older receivers who have a great knowledge for the game and can transition to their game plan quickly. And they got a quarterback, when he misses high, which is AJ Green's a big receiver. So I could see the Patriots, who have no outside receiver, making a push for him. I think Edelman's going on IR as well.
Yep.
So that offense, I don't think anyone in New England's talking about like taking, like they still expect to win the
They're
division.
doing a sale, but I
and
don't think
push.
they're going to go.
I don't
down.
think they'll sell.
I was talking about selling Gilmore, which is their best player.
If they did that, then that would be full on. But I still think they. Who else is in the division? Jets,
Bills.
Bills are going to win it. I guess they're looking at wild card with the extended playoffs.
Yeah.
So
They're not going to get worse than Miami.
No,
That's-
but-
that would be.
Oh, two a time.
I could see AJ growing to somewhere with Belichick and trying to work in something like that. I don't know. We've listed off so many teams that are receiver needy. I was trying to go a little
Basically,
bit
just the
different.
Packers sign a receiver.
Yeah,
You
the
should have drafted one instead of Jordan Love. You had a chance to get like Justin Jefferson.
Are they going to be cheap? Like that's the question. If they're cheap, maybe an AJ Green. If they
Maybe.
go all out, the fuller options there.
Right.
I don't know who's another receiver that could be on the market. Maybe a Gallup from Dallas.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's reports that maybe even Detroit might be looking to move Kenny.
Galladay.
Yeah. So why would we not look at that?
I
I don't know.
All right, what's your next?
The next one is Evan Ingram. So going from receivers to tight end. So
If you need a really athletic tight end that can't catch and gets hurt all the time,
Evan Ingram's your
Evan
guy.
Ingram is your guy.
So Evan Ingram. Any teams right off the top of your head that need a tight end? Because I think this is probably more so about
New
position
England.
need than New England. Definitely
New England
jumps
for
to mind.
sure.
New England definitely jumps to mind.
'Cause I think they drafted 2 or 3 in the draft and they're all terrible.
I know me and you were thinking the same thing. I'm going to say Carolina.
Why Carolina?
Ian Thomas.
Have you
is-
seen Ian Thomas play football?
He hasn't. When they drafted Ian Thomas, they said, look, kid's raw.
He's
He's
a
got
boomer
talent.
bust. He's
Right.
a boomer bust.
And
Which one has he been so far?
Bust.
Ian Thomas has got all that
Thomas?
athleticism.
Who now?
The power.
You got that thick tongue?
Ian Thomas. Now listen, just hear me out. He's got all that athleticism and what he's shown it.
Yeah.
We've seen it multiple times. But he just can't. He can't run the route, and he can't read defense.
All right, Fantasia Bruno. Thank you for that.
Maybe,
analysis.
So I think Ingram would do good. I think he would.
A smaller market too.
Yeah, he would benefit a lot better. And I don't think he would. I don't think he's a long-term answer, but I think he could make a difference in
Yeah.
Carolina, especially under Brady offense.
I was about to pull up the same point you just finished with. The Brady offense at LSU
Mhm.
used Moss a lot, and Moss and Ingram remind me a
Yep.
lot of each other.
Yep.
I think that would be something very beneficial for Joe Brady to have an athletic tight end that is versatile.
Bridgewater's an accurate quarterback, where Daniel Jones is not.
Yes. And so, and maybe that helps getting out of New York, getting out of the city, the party life and stuff that could happen with young players there.
Pressure.
The pressure. Even though I don't know if anyone's putting pressure on the Giants this year, but just a change of scenery with a guy who's has all the physical skills that you look for.
Yeah.
So I agree with the Carolina analysis and where they could be looking for. Another team that needy of tight end. Does anyone else have one that jumps out at them?
That jumps out.
Like a team that's in contention, because that's usually what we're going to kind of look at here. It could use an Ingram.
I would still say possibly the Packers.
Whoa, fella. Sternberger and Tunyon?
Tunyon has played well.
What
But
did we
I
start
Tunyon has
Tunyon
played
before?
well.
Tanyan.
Yeah. That's what his name's spelled.
It's Tanya with an N at the end.
Like if
If you
they're
take the yon off of it, it is Tun. So, hey,
I think Evan Ingram's one of those guys that you can kind of put around different places in the field. Like he's not necessarily like an inline tight end.
he's like
more
that
a
other
big
tight
slot
end
receiver.
that the Pats had.
I got a pretty
The one that wasn't Gronk. You know what I'm talking about.
He's not Voldemort.
Well, last time I brought his name up on a podcast, I got in trouble.
I
Aaron
didn't say
Hernandez.
nothing.
Because I tried to name his documentary and I said making a murderer and everybody.
That's
made a big joke about it.
okay. Well, that's not the
All
same.
right. But he's of that mold where he can play tight end, but he's better. He's basically a glorified slot receiver, and that's how the Giants have used him since they drafted him out of Ole Miss. Because that's how he was used at Ole Miss.
I mean, I could see somewhere like the Packers using him. Like again, if they're looking for a receiving option.
I got a really good one. Arizona.
Arizona's desperate. Dan Arnold did not work out. The
Think about
postman
the
did
two
not work out.
receivers that stretch the field.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray's having his best season. I mean, he's developing.
Aired
And
out offense with a tight end option, man, great.
they can't. Hopefully, Chase Edmonds owns the running back position,
He
but
looks a
they
lot
have
better
been
with him on the
very sketchy in the running game. Their best runner has been their quarterback, who magically never takes a hit. I think I saw him get hit the first time in the Seattle game because he was
He's so
going for
small.
the first down, and it was still like they barely hit him. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't take hits. He's extremely quick, versatile out of the pocket. I like having a guy in the middle of the field. That offense doesn't attack the middle of the field often.
No,
You
if
even
they
watch-
do,
No, they don't.
if they do, it's Larry Fitzgerald on like little short comeback routes.
Yeah.
And I mean,
But nobody extends the
who
seam.
would you want Ingram to kind of come through and learn how to play the middle of the field?
Oh,
for?
absolutely.
I think
Greg
Fitz-
Olsen,
Dan Arnold.
But Fitz
Yeah.
wouldn't be a bad option.
And Seattle's even a team where they got like 3 or 4 guys, but none of them have really emerged to be.
No, they
taking
just
that
brought in a
position.
lot of older
Yeah.
talent.
But because of that, I don't think they go after him.
Okay.
I like it.
So a couple best fit scenarios: Will Fuller, AJ Green, Evan Ingram. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. But I think we figured out some possible landing spots.
Listen to us, GMs. We smart.
So you know what that takes us to now, right?
Is it that time?
It's about that time.
Almost about that time for the matchup preview.
Matchup preview. So week 8, we have. Let's see. We got week 8. We got week 9. We got week 10. We got week 11. We got week 12.
Week 13
It's
next.
12.
Through week 13 after that. So we got 6 weeks left of the fantasy
What
regular
happens
season.
week 14?
Playoffs.
Fantasy playoffs, and it's a tight one right now,
Tight, son!
especially in
Like
that.
a toy gun. It's twit like a toy gun.
So looking at the standings real quick from the 4th place team. So you got 2 teams at 4 and 3. You got 2 teams at 3 and 4. You got 2 teams at 2 and 5. You got 2 teams at 5 and 2. This is very symmetrical. So you got 6 and 1,
Yep.
5 and 2, 5 and 2, 4 and 3, 4 and 3,
Yep.
3 and 4, 3 and 4, 2 and 5, 2 and 5, 1 and 6. Very symmetrical.
Yes.
All about symmetry.
So, with our first matchup this week, since again this is the stretch, all these matchups are going to be important. First matchup we're going to look at is the Fantasy Phenoms versus Autobahn Josh Broach. This is a second and third matchup of 2 5 and 2 teams.
Gracious alive.
All right, so pulling this up, Ryan did have Ryan go on Monday.
That's my boy.
So Ryan did have Ryan. And Josh Broach, Jay Bro of Autobahn Time, had Ty Gurley go for 10.6 to Matt Ryan's 18.9. Those are the only 2 players to go. As of right now, Broach is favored to win 129 to 115 in the live projection. About 14-point difference. So what do you guys see on Ryan's team? Some potential guys that could maybe carry that load for him.
You.
I'll go ahead and point out one of mine. I think Marquise Brown is kind of on the cusp of really like having that big breakout game. I really do think he's near that point because of all the air yards he's seeing. I think if he just ends up coming down with a couple more passes, he and Lamar kind of get on the same page. Lamar Jackson hasn't been as good this year. If Lamar Jackson and Marquise Brown get on the same page, I think that offense is kind of what you saw down, throughout the year last year. That's the guy that I think on Ryan's team that I could see kind of blowing up, even though they are playing Pitt. Honestly, I think that actually gives it maybe a higher possibility because they're not going to be able to run the ball as well.
Yeah, I'm going to say Buffalo. I think New England's in a downward spiral right now.
It's something we've never seen before, that's for sure.
I know. That's going to be my next one. Yeah. It's odd that I'm going to go with these two at the same time. But, Buffalo is – I could see Buffalo putting up close to 20 this week.
Mm-hmm.
Cam, I don't know. Cam's just –
Who are you throwing to?
first couple weeks where Cam was in New England, all the Panther fans are just so angry.
Yeah.
If you look at Bridgewater, even if he hasn't had huge games, he's been consistent as all. His completion percentage is something that Carolina hasn't seen probably since ever.
Steve Berline.
Berline was a good one. Kerry Collins before alcohol really took over his life.
Jake DeLong.
I like football.
No. I do like
Rodney Peete.
Rodney.
Chris Winkie.
No. Chris Winkie, yes. I'll give you Wink. I'll give him Wink. Wink had a good year.
What about the gun?
Jimmy Clausen.
You give him the wing and the gun?
Which week?
When he was at Notre Dame.
No. So, yeah, I think Cam, was tearing it up, and all the Panther fans are, why would we get rid of Cam?
Mm-hmm.
And now Cam's showing why Carolina let Cam go. And I love Cam. Cam.
Hey, Broach, if you want to throw Cam in your lineup this week, no.
Should have done it last week.
We told him.
Should have done
He
it
would have
last
scored
week.
over 200 if he had started Rodgers.
Yeah, I mean, nobody saw, what would he put up, 44 with Adams?
Yeah, Adams put up something like
If you
that.
don't
Like
start those
176 and 2 or something.
38.1.
Bro, you're an idiot if you don't start both of them together for the rest of the year.
Or start neither this week, just see how that works, and then we'll show you from there on out. You need to start both.
Who you got, Jake?
Edwards-Helaire, I think, against the Jets, they'll get up big early. I think they're going to still give him very involved. I think he gets a touchdown. I think he clears 100 yards. And the other one, I know I'm breaking the rules, Johnson, reemerging from injury. I think he's kind of taken back over where Claypool was. He's a very big red zone target. I think he had 2 touchdowns last week.
2.
So I think those are 2 that are going to exceed their point prediction.
Okay. Ron, do you have a guy that you're really just banking on this week?
Yep, Aaron Jones, who's out. That's who I was banking on. He had a great matchup.
All right. Well, let's keep this moving.
No, it's definitely Edwards-Helaire, if just depending on how they decide to use Le'Veon. I think that's a really good matchup for him to break out, and he looked really good past 2 weeks. And then Jamal Williams playing for Aaron Jones. I think he just looked good last week, but I'm really banking on
Now Jamal Williams is a really good matchup.
Yep. So those 2, just running backs, I need him to do well.
So taking it over to Broach's team, is there somebody on Broach's team that you worry could be a big bust in his lineup this week?
Bust.
Yeah, big bust. Big bust.
Pam Anderson.
She's not. I don't think she's in there, but
Amari Cooper.
Okay. Amari Cooper against
Just because
Philadelphia.
Dallas. Not because Philly, just because Dallas.
Is Andy Dalton starting this week?
No, I think it's that Verducci kid.
Verducci.
Or
Stand by what I said.
Danucci. My bad. Wrong. It's his name.
Okay. Okay, Amari Cooper. I can get down with that. Jake, is there anybody you see in Broach's lineup you think could maybe bust this week?
Fournette.
I
I think all his receivers meet or exceed their predictions.
Okay.
Cooper's had 1 week under 13 points. Even that was the game that got hurt, actually.
Yep.
But even with Andy Dalton, he has gotten a lot of targets.
No, he doesn't even have Dalton.
He's had 1 what? Under 13?
Is it 2? 13.1, 13, 13.1, 27, 3.1, 17.4. Oh, he had 12 last
12,
week. Excuse me. 12.
God, if you're going to talk
Yeah,
about
but his
that,
projection is 11.3. So I think he meets or exceeds that.
Yeah, I think so too.
I'm gonna go out
Especially
on a
primetime
limb
Philly. So
and say Kansas City defense will probably be his top 3-point getter this week.
I could see that. I could definitely see that. The other one that I guess I'm a little bit worried about this week is Tyler Lockett. Had the huge game last week, coming off of 2 games that were they had a total of 6 catches because they have been getting DK involved so much.
Is Richard Sherman back?
Good question. Let me call him.
All right.
You don't have his number.
Dick Sherman. We talking about the same guy?
Yeah.
Dick Sherman.
Yeah, I got
his
Sherman.
number. All right. Let me hit him up.
The reason why I ask is I feel like if they don't have a lockdown corner to lock down DK actually might get more involved than he did last week when Pat Pete was on him.
Yeah, Patrick Peterson definitely.
Didn't Lockett score 1 on Pat Pete?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But they didn't even look DK's way that much because of Patrick Peterson.
I watched a lot of that game. Patrick Peterson moved around. Lockett's first touchdown, which was over the shoulder, which was an incredible grab, was on Patrick Peterson. I think the thing is, teams got to pick. Do you shade the safety at DK and leave Lockett free, or do you kind of leave the safety in the middle of the field, where that's where Lockett does a lot of his work, and then that leaves one-on-one on the outside. So teams got to pick their poison. You don't know which one it's going to go back and forth to.
Pick your poison.
But I don't feel comfortable saying like he's for sure a bust. He could have a down week, but I honestly, Broach, with Devontae Parker on your bench, I'd probably move him in my starting lineup. I think
over Devontae Adams, Broach.
over Fournette.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how involved Fournette's going to be. I think Jones has won that job. I think he's looked good at running back there, Ronald Jones. So maybe I missed something. Maybe there's Fournette breaks out. I don't pay enough attention to it, but or even Tanya maybe gets another touchdown. So I don't know.
Okay. Ryan, is there anybody on Broach's team that you hope busts?
Yeah,
All of
the Packers passing game.
Okay.
I feel like that's basically what the whole matchup's going to come down to is how the Packers attack the Vikings. If it's Jamal Williams on the ground, I have a shot. But if it's Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, I'm done. Because those two, if basically it's the passing game of the Packers, it's been Devontae Adams when he's healthy. So that's what I'm going with there. And it's not looking good there, Chief.
Okay. All right, Brian, who are you taking?
I'm going to go Broach.
Clean sweep it.
Not to.
Yeah, Broach.
Broach.
That's what he meant by clean.
Clean
Okay,
sweep.
Clean sweep. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I'll take Broach. Good luck, Ryan.
Thank you.
All right, for our second matchup of Week 8. Let's go to let me get this.
Cabo.
Cabo.
Okay.
Let's go to another big matchup. 4 and 5. Baba Booey, question mark. Andrew Ransdale versus Jacob Turd Sandwiches.
Sandwiches.
Okay. All right, this is a little closer. 111.95 to 128.1. 120.81. Okay, so Ron, what do you see biggest? What do you see position-wise? Like, who has the edge when it comes down to position groups? I guess I would say not just position by position, but position group.
Position group, it looks like Jake's got the advantage pretty heavily in quarterback and running back. And yeah, well, I mean, tight end, I'm not saying is a huge advantage just because Mark Andrews does catch tight ends. They're coming off the bye. Maybe they've fixed that passing game like JT was talking about with Hollywood earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like those two advantages should be able to carry him, even with the discrepancies in the wide receiver position. But I feel like those two can carry you.
I feel like both of the position groups are like offset each other.
Yeah.
Like how you said, Russell Wilson is going to carry Jacob QB, Andrews receivers, kind of the strong point of his team. Jake's running backs and tight end are strong. Andrews flex, honestly, with Fulcom, I've been really surprised by that.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't really want to doubt him right now. Then their defenses are kind of
But Philly is getting those two pass catchers back, so it could take us some of the volume that Fulcom's been seeing.
For sure.
So I don't know how he
A shout
when he's not the only option. No offense, Greg Ward, but you ain't it, kid.
It's Greg Ward. Greg Ward. Okay, what you thinking, Brian?
As far as position
Just this
general?
matchup in general. That was just something that I saw.
I have a hard time seeing Ezekiel Elliott have a mediocre, bad Elliott game. 3 weeks in a row.
He's had 2 in a row, so
There's just no way. I just don't see it.
Have we seen Zeke have this bad of an offensive line in his entire career, though? I don't think
he
so.
hasn't.
No.
He's had probably
Or this bad a quarterback play in his entire career.
No.
Hadn't seen that either. He's been in a very good situation, and he's a very talented running back.
Was Jason Garrett maybe keeping that boat afloat?
Are we going to give Jason
I've
Garrett
seen
credit?
a lot of memes that said
I mean-
Jason Garrett, like, why did y'all always blame me? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe his clapping was keeping him like, hey, the coach believes in us, we can do it. And then you look over and McCarthy's just eating a hot dog on the sideline. Maybe it doesn't instill confidence.
Jake's got too much breakout potential this week. He's got too much big game potential.
With
Russell, I don't even have to call Russell a big game for Russell Wilson. But, I mean, Russell's going to tear up San Fran.
Seattle should play in prime time every single week.
Yes. Yes, they should.
Well, their defense is so bad it turns into a shootout no matter what.
For sure.
Seattle's defense is awful, which is great for me having him at quarterback because
Right.
they're never comfortable enough to just start running the ball. Like they're constantly
That'd
having.
be nice if they did, though.
Taylor, I think, is going to have a big week this week.
okay.
I don't know what to say about T.Y. Hilton.
What can be said?
Thank you.
The only reason he's in is that Tim Patrick was going to go in. That even Denver is now officially come
But
out
they're
and said-
playing the Chargers.
but here's
I
my thing
understand.
about
said that
T.Y.
he's their clear-cut number one now. but
T.Y.
he's got
can't go
history.
this entire season without having a really
Well,
good week.
So
I just find that impossible.
Him-
T.Y. is going to go the rest of the year without one good week. What's been his biggest week?
him being hurt, 6 points. Him
Cleveland.
being hurt, and then CD, I don't know what's going on at quarterback, so he went on the bench. The only reason Ty is really in there is because they're coming off a bye.
You ain't
and
got to
they're going-
justify it. It makes
They're
sense.
going against Detroit, who's
right. I mean, I
10 worst passing defense.
I'm going to have to pick T.Y. to have a big game every week for the rest of the year because there's just no way.
It's got to happen at least once.
once.
I'm just hoping he doesn't drop a touchdown. Really, if he gets over 10 there, I'm thrilled. The one that I was a little excited about last week, and maybe Johnson helped out a little bit with that, was Juju getting targets. Which last week he had – who did they play last week?
Who's that?
Juju. He
Uh,
played
they played Tennessee, right?
Yes,
Wasn't
they
that
did
the-
play
Yeah, that was a big
Vegas?
game.
– and he had 14 targets last week.
Yeah.
So
13 points out of it.
yeah, I was finally glad to see that. He got targeted in the end zone, which he caught it. The defender ripped through his hands, like going backwards and knocked it out where it was picked off. But he got a red zone look, which was also great. So, I mean, he was one catch away from being over 20 points last week.
But your difference maker this week is Wilson Carr.
Yeah, I really like what Browns look like also since he's come back.
He's questionable, or was questionable.
No,
Is
he's
he
fine.
good?
No,
Okay.
they're doing the same routine every week with him.
No, he's limited his reps.
Yes, but since he's been back,
Since he's been back?
he's 17, 20, 24 are his
Since
points.
he's gone.
Okay. Yeah, he's been a
What
stud.
you see, JT?
Andrew's going to take some lumps this week. I'm not hadn't picked it yet. I could easily see Jake winning. I think Andrew's team he's building for the playoffs. Like this week, just on bye, he's got Brandon Cooks and David Johnson on bye. He's got Joe Mixon out. Nick Chubb is still on IR. I think Andrew's team in 3 weeks' time is going to be a lot better than the lineup he has this week, just because he'll be through his buys.
He'll get Houston back, basically.
He'll get Houston back. He'll get Chubb back. He'll get Mixon back. And then, I don't think he really has a weak spot to his team.
And I'm going to tell you, Andrew with Chubb, it's dangerous.
Andrew's Chubb is dangerous.
No, Andrew.
You
with
would know
Chubb.
this. You would know
If
this.
he can put Chubb and Johnson back in the lineup.
You get Chubb and Johnson together, that's a stiff lineup to beat.
So,
You'd be hard-pressed to beat him.
I think a lot of it relies on that Minnesota passing game against Green Bay. If it turns into a back and forth, yeah, Andrew's got a shot because Thielen and Jefferson have been playing well.
No, for sure.
That's the,
Jefferson, man, is a Jacqueline Hyde.
I don't like him.
I don't know if it's him.
I just don't like the last name.
I think it's Cousins. Like
Oh,
that's the one concern I would have about having two receivers from that team is like which Kirk Cousins shows up.
And are they going to feed Dalvin Cook when he gets healthy?
Yeah, that's another thing. Like
Hit him the ball even.
Feed him the rock even.
that would be my
basketball
only
even.
concern there.
Favorite sport even.
All right. So who we taking this week in
Dribble, shoot, shoot.
Baba Booey. Andrew Ransdale, question mark, against Jake Turd Sandwiches.
I got to go Jake this week.
Taking Jake. Okay.
I'm
Ryan.
going to go with that turd sandwich.
Okay.
Jake?
I think I go last.
Yeah, it's my turn.
JT.
This week.
Thinkies.
I'm going to go Jake this week. Yeah, I'm going to go Jake this week.
But if they were matched up next week.
I do
Doesn't
think
matter.
Andrew's team. I do think Andrew has probably one of the top 3 teams. I just don't think this is his week.
Yeah,
Jake's got it this
When he gets old Deshaun back in
got to
there.
deal with his demons this week.
week. Okay. And
Yeah, I'm gonna take myself.
all right, our third matchup. Let's take a look at our third. What do we got? Oh, I know what we got. We got a little victim of the system versus the 08 Lions.
Ooh.
A 6v10 matchup.
Ooh, Brian, we'll be back later.
All right, a barn burner if I've ever seen one.
It's a joke because it's a low-scoring affair.
But the barn's burning. That's where we keep all our fantasy points.
All right, so as of right now, a live projection for Brian versus Michael, 79.99 versus 96.74. Brian has already had 3 players go, put him up a total of 26. Teddy Bridgewater, Calvin Ridley, Robbie Anderson. Michael set his lineup, boys.
Looky there.
Do me a favor. Go look at the transaction list and look at Michael is selling out for this week, buddy.
Michael,
Listen, I'm serious. Go look at it. Count them up.
Count them up.
I've been keeping an eye on him all week.
All right, yeah, let's count them up. I'm gonna keep it on our matchup while we look at it. Michael's sitting at 1-6. I think this is the first matchup he's had in a while where he's favored to win. He wasn't favored in the original projection, but after Calvin Ridley got hurt, exited the game early, then just a down game
Mediocre.
for Carolina. Yeah, Michael's got a good
He's got a
shot.
shot.
Yeah,
He's got a really
he's
shot.
got a good shot. How many are we counting up?
he's
Ryan?
done 4 ads this
But he
week.
dropped and added the same person. Like he added someone and turned around and dropped them. Hyde.
Yeah, well, Hyde was they're saying he's more questionable than Carson.
They came out and said Chris Carson, mild foot or mid-foot sprain, week to week.
yeah,
And then they're like, Carlos Hyde is going to be the clear back.
yeah.
Homer is the third down back. He was also hurt.
Wrote the Odyssey.
Yes, he did. And the Iliad. Honest.
Hope they
Did he
all-
really write him, though? I think it was more word of mouth.
I think
an
it was-
oral tradition, you know. Thank you. But then Carroll comes out and says they all have a chance to play and they're all going to be game time decisions. Then he came out and said that Carlos Hyde was
Doubtful.
his hamstring was nothing serious. Then he came out and said he was more doubtful than questionable.
Right? Yeah.
So I have no clue what to believe.
Well, they had this a couple
What's
weeks
going
ago
on?
when Carson was questionable. It
Yeah.
was like, okay, Carlos Hyde, suit him up,
Yeah.
and then Carlos Hyde
Didn't even
did.
play,
He
yeah.
didn't play.
Right.
But
So I don't know what's
find
going
that funny.
Could be DJ Dallas,
Yeah, I've seen his name pop up.
which I saw him try to come into that game against who they played.
Last week,
It was Arizona.
Yeah.
He tried to pick up a pass protection and got lit
I did
up,
see
and
that.
Russell Wilson got sacked, and I was like, yeah, they're not going to let that kid play if he can't pass protect. So
All right, so who's some winners on Michael's team this week?
Who's some-
Who are some winners? Because he's got some guys in there that probably hadn't seen a starting lineup. in
Trade
some
Bay
time.
Bob
Trade Bay
is
Bob.
on a buy, so that's been his big guy.
So he's again like I haven't seen Daryl Mooney in a lineup. MVS has been
He made that pickup today,
he
and I
did.
still don't understand it. To be honest
MVS
with
has been a like a desperation play. Zach Moss I don't think has seen his lineup. Gus Edwards hasn't seen a lineup. So he's got a lot of new guys. Welcome to Michael's team.
I will say this about Michael with Zach Moss. With Zach Moss, New England is thin at D-back this week.
Uh-huh.
So
Yep,
if there was
he-
a guy to have a breakout, Zach Moss could be it.
you. Yeah,
It's
if you
Gilmore's
need to have a running back breakout, those corners probably not going to be covering him.
Well, that's what I'm going to say. They're going to get up early.
Oh,
Zach
okay.
Moss will get a lot of run.
And
because
Devin
they're not
Singletary
gonna
has
touch him.
looked like hot
this
garbage
guy
last
over
2
here.
weeks.
We bragged on him. and
Devin
said he
Singletary's
won
been
the
getting
job.
all the work. It's his backfield. It's his backfield. And these just look like doo-doo.
Doo-doo.
It might be
Yeah.
doo-doo.
Then up front, they haven't looked very good either.
No, they
They've
haven't.
gotten beat up.
They need John Brown on that offense to spread the field deep.
Mhm.
Giggity.
I like the Gus Edwards pickup. I really do.
The bus?
Yeah, because if Mark Ingram doesn't play, which he's been again questionable,
Right.
like Gus Edwards has got more run in him, or more rushes at least, than J.K. Dobbins has. They seem to trust Gus Edwards a little bit more than they do Dobbins, so I can see a nice little spot start for Edwards, even against Pitt, because he catches the ball at the back.
But I was about to say, but Gus Edwards is kind of like a early career Adrian Peterson. They just don't throw him the ball.
Right.
So if he's on the field, you kind of know, hey, it's going to be a run.
That's true. But they hadn't really thrown it much to their backs at all.
Yeah, because, well, they have. Lamar Jackson just throws it at their ankles because he's not a quarterback this year. Well, according to Bill Polian, he's a running back
Yeah.
who happened to win an MVP last year as a quarterback. So I don't know. I don't know what to call Baltimore's offense right now.
I think
The
Joe
Ravens.
Burrow is
Because that's who they are. They are who we thought they were. Yeah, Joe Burrow, Jake. Good call.
he throws it 60 times a game.
He does.
I think he's leading the NFL in
Yeah, he has
passes
the
attempts.
most pass attempts. Yeah.
So anytime that's the number, and going against the offense that's also been very good, but has been giving up a lot of points defensively lately.
Yeah.
I think Joe Burrow could go for 30 this week.
He went for 30 last week.
That's other than that, I could see a lot of guys on his team not meeting expectations.
Name a couple.
Well, I mean, you don't know what's going to happen in Baltimore at running back and against maybe the best defense in the league, Pittsburgh.
Yep.
I could definitely see him not reaching 9. James Conner going against a better defense this week.
Yeah.
So, again, that could have impact. And then
The Rams don't throw enough for Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods to be good in the
Yeah.
same week. So it just depends on
which one
flip
they
the
go
coin,
to.
which one they
I don't
go
want
to.
to say him because it could be him, but
Yeah, it could be.
those are the two that stood out to me the earliest.
Okay, I'm one of the ones that stood out to me, just depending on what that game looks like, is James Conner. If he doesn't score a touchdown, I don't know if he gets 14.
No, he ain't gonna get to work. I don't think.
But it just depends on the flow of that game. That game script could be. I mean, I think there's endless possibilities. It could
Old
be,
school Ravens Steelers.
It could. I think it could be, but
Yeah.
it could also be where one team's just beating the brakes off the other.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to be the case because it's a division game and a rivalry game.
Yeah.
But honestly, like I didn't see Baltimore getting beat like they did against KC.
No.
I didn't see Pittsburgh just piling on points like they have been able to against other good teams.
Right.
James Conner is probably his second highest projection. I'm a little worried there just because I think that game could turn out in a multitude of ways. Overall, I like James Conner, but yeah, I could see him failing to reach 14, but I could also see him getting 20. So, is what it is. The other ones are just a little low. I think if MVS gets a touchdown, he exceeds his projection. If Mooney gets a touchdown, exceeds projection. Zach Moss, Noah Fant, Gus Edwards. If any one of them get a touchdown, they're going to beat their projection. Do all of them score?
No.
Could they?
Sure. Will they? Probably not.
Nah, probably.
Good analysis.
Thank you. That's what I'm here for.
What about
Pay me
Brian?
the big bucks.
What about Brian's team, though?
About Brian's team?
Switch over.
Okay.
It's an uphill battle.
It is.
Losing 20 points on Thursday night didn't help.
No,
Yeah.
we did not.
Is that how many lost off of his projections?
Thereabout.
Okay.
We're doing the exact thing like a while ago. It might
It
be like
doesn't really
19
matter if they,
Okay. If Higgins has a good game, Higgins has a good game for Cleveland.
What's a good Higgins game, though? I feel like getting 8.1
Yeah.
for Higgins might be a good Higgins game.
If he doubles that, if he gets 16,
Okay.
like, okay, you've got my attention, Brian. If Hasty, Devin Coleman, they're saying that he may be back this week. I don't know if they give him the lead carries. I don't think Jarek McKinnon's getting that either.
No.
Hasty could. If he gets 12, you got my attention.
So Brian needs to double up his projections.
In a couple
remaining,
spots.
because he's already had his quarterback and top 2 receivers go.
You just don't take offense to this.
Well, what?
I don't know. It's fantasy football, dude. People take this.
I've
pretty seriously.
accepted this as a throwaway week.
You
why
just
I didn't
don't.
do a whole lot.
You just don't have guys with a very high ceiling.
You had one, and he got hurt.
Yeah.
In like the second quarter, he was looking good.
Oh.
Calvin Ridley against Carolina was looking good until he got hurt.
When your team gets healthy, Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, next week I'm feeling better.
yeah. But this is just this is going to be a bad week, which you kind of already knew that with
Right.
With Murray being on bye, D Hop being on bye,
Your
McCaffrey being hurt.
Your top
Mostert,
5 fantasy players are out in the same week. It's
James
not going to be
Crowder,
ideal.
Chris Godwin. I mean, you've got a championship contender with the guys on the bench.
They don't score points when they're over there, though.
I'd say his top 6 players are all out this week.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna put James Robertson up there?
I'll put James Robinson up there.
I wasn't putting McCaffrey up there because he's only played, like a game and a half. He hasn't been one of his top players this year, is what I was saying. It's like this point getters is getting points every week.
Bite your tongue, sir.
So I guess the way I should rephrase this is that
His best players, for sure.
his 6 players that will be in his lineup
Next
at
week,
playoff
Without
time
question, yeah.
are all not in.
Yeah.
So how many positions do we get to start? 1, 2, 3, 4,
9.
5. No. So, yeah, 6 out of 9 are not in. That's
And potentially 7 because Jamison Crowder, when he plays, has been good.
Yeah,
He's just
which
been
is
in and out.
It's volume with the team that's getting their butt kicked.
And Hunter Henry's best tight end in football. So,
Not true.
Charger.
Not true.
Devil.
All right.
Double out.
So let's call it.
I can't call
Brian,
it.
victim of the system versus the 08 Lions, and Michael. Ryan, who have you got?
I'm going to call Michael. For 2 out of the last 3 weeks, I've called this.
All right.
And
Jake?
3 weeks ago, I don't think I ever said it.
There you have it. Jake?
Sorry, buddy. I'm gonna.
I don't know why.
I mean, I don't really like it. I just think Joe Burrow is going to go off this week, so I'm going to go with that just because I think Burrow is going to go for 30.
If that Thursday night game wouldn't have happened, I would have probably taken Brian.
Yeah, because I thought Calvin Ridley could have gone for 20 against us.
Yep.
Brian?
JT? No, you got to go for him.
I'm
Yeah.
taking Michael too.
Yeah, it's going to be a clean sweep.
All right, 3 clean sweeps so far. All right, let's look at our 4th matchup before our matchup of the week. 4th matchup is going to be a 1v8 matchup. 1v8, that is Cult of Personality versus Jordan of Jordan's team. All right. Where do you start?
Start at the
Same
beginning.
thing I say every week. Doesn't matter with Jordan. He just wins. He just freaking wins.
When
In
you
life and in fantasy football,
Right.
Jordan wins.
When you play against Jordan, one of your starters is guaranteed to get hurt.
Yep.
When you play against Jordan, one of his players that has like a single-digit projection goes for like 25. When you play against Jordan,
P. Ryan.
beat him.
Beat him.
Who's beat? You beat Jordan.
I did.
And then he went right back up
And
to
then
it.
he went right back up.
New England, I think New England is going to get maybe 2 points this week defensively.
Yeah, that could turn into a run game.
That's not going to be good. Gronk, I'm done talking about Gronk. So now he's actually playing good.
Yep.
Then talk about him. Talk about him.
No, but that's the thing. It's like I don't know.
But if you talk about him, maybe he'll play better.
Oh, you want me to bet Juju him?
Yeah, it's Halloween.
Juju's on Jake.
It's actually Halloweek 8.
Is this the first time you've plugged that?
Yeah.
We're an hour in and you're just now bringing that up?
I forgot about it.
That's all right.
Halloweek 8.
Yeah, you like it, doesn't
I do. We love it.
I will say this. Outside of the New England game and the Giants game, so that's 3 players. Defensively, his guys have tough matchups. Jackson going against Pitt, that's a tough one.
Lamar Jackson's only bad game last year when he won the MVP was when he played Pittsburgh. He only had like 70 rushing yards and threw 3 picks.
They haven't played Pittsburgh yet, have they? This is their first matchup.
yeah.
This is only the second time he's ever played Pitt as a starter.
Boyd could have a good week against Tennessee if Jake's prediction of
Joe Burrow.
Laughing Boy does good, then Boyd's going to benefit from that.
It's on that T. Higgins, though, dog.
Diggs will have a big week. Without a doubt, Diggs is going to have a good week.
He's had 2 or 3 down weeks in a row, but John Brown being back, I think Diggs comes back
Right.
in a big way.
But then you go to running backs. You got Singletary going against New England. If him and Zach Moss are splitting, then that's going to take away from Singletary. I just don't trust Dobbins against Pittsburgh. I think you got rid of Dobbins at a good time. And if Ryan's projection's right, the Jets are going to have a great running back week. I don't know. I just
So we going down Jordan's whole team?
that's what I didn't mean to. It just kind of ended up happening. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, when we break down your team, we'll just skip Brian.
Yeah, skip. Go ahead. I'm trying to fill dead air here. Ryan, what you got?
All right, JT's going to destroy in this running back matchup, and I think that'll carry him through.
Yeah, I think the quarterback position could be a wash this week just because I think Kansas City will get up big on the Jets and Mahomes will be limited with that. But I don't know if Jackson will really have that great of a performance against Pittsburgh. I mean, Mahomes has the bigger upside to win that matchup, but I still don't know if he's going to go out there and go for 400 yards or something like that. I think he's got you beat at wide receiver. I think all of them will meet it, but you're just going to absolutely destroy him at the running game. If it plays out the way I think it will. Tight end matchup, Kelsey's by far the superior talent there. Bernard with volume this week.
Question. Beasles,
Will be out.
Beasley, is out because he's part of that trade that's
Yeah.
pending tomorrow morning.
Mhm.
You going to put Shepard or Aguilar in?
Yeah, one of them. I'm
Okay.
still deciding between. Honestly, I'm probably going to lean Shepard just in case I go into Monday night.
Right.
Yeah, I just like having a shot Monday night if I'm down.
Yeah, it's funny. Hey, he could have the game of his career. I mean, he looked really good in his first game back.
You like to
last
hold
week,
on to
so-
some hopes, don't you?
I do. I don't want to go into Monday night. If I go into Monday night saying, all right, I need 50 points from Sterling Shepard, that's better than, well, I lost.
See, I don't like having people play on Thursday nights. Love having people play on Monday nights. If I have somebody on Thursday night, even if they have a good game, I'm
All
like,
hope's gone.
well, like if I'm going against somebody on Thursday night that had a great game, I'm like, well, I have no shot. Or if I have somebody that had a great game, I'm like, that might not be a big enough lead.
Yeah.
Like, but on Monday night, you always have that hope.
Didn't hesitate to jump to Michael after my Thursday night.
So I do want to ask y'all this because of the projection
You
here.
get 3, not just 1.
Yeah.
What is needed for Jordan to win this matchup?
Big wide receiver weeks. Because I'm opposite of you with Jackson. I think Jackson might have a good week.
I didn't say he was going to have a good week. I just said I think him and Mahomes will be.
Okay. Because Mahomes going to go up so big.
I think the wide receivers are pretty.
I feel like that one's.
They're pretty safe for him.
I think
Jordan just needs one of those 3
Yeah.
running backs that we're doubting to have a good game. Which
If-
I said he has somebody go double digits that.
If 2
don't
out of
look
the
good.
3 running backs get in the end zone, the week gets very close.
Yeah.
In my
I
opinion,
think this matchup is
if 2 out of the 3 get in the end zone, and even if they have 50, 60 yards where it's like they got 12 to 14 points,
Right.
like that's when this matchup would get more interesting to me. But if none of those running backs, or only one, in my opinion, gets in the end zone, he don't have a chance. But it's Jordan.
That's the thing. It's the Jordan rule.
Yeah. Like, that's what's kind of paranoid
Like
about
the
this.
Pistons Jordan rules.
Kind of, but fancy
Okay.
version where Jordan
It's a
picks up
ginger
the goal.
curse.
But if
You
Jordan
can't
gets in the
trust the
paint, you hit him.
Right.
If he
Now,
leaves the floor, you push him.
all of these guys, when we get to playoff time, for
Yeah.
Jordan, they're all going to have terrible weeks.
JT,
Good.
Mhm.
I'm going to say something, and you're probably just going to look at me like I'm the biggest idiot in the world for saying
You mean
this.
go ahead and do it now?
No. I want natural reaction.
I might honestly play Ryan Tannehill over Pat Mahomes this week.
I thought about that. Yeah, I thought about that because
I think that could turn into a
Disappointment.
shootout, and I really think Kansas City could get up big where I think they might give Bell a lot of carries. They might give build the rookie's confidence with Allaire. So
I think what happened last week against Denver could
Very
easily happen
Yeah.
this week against the Jets.
Just without the
it's
snow.
not very like it's probable in some
Yeah,
ways.
like
And I think Tennessee's defense is god awful. I think Joe Burrow's throwing the piss out of it right now, and it could.
Cincinnati's defense is also good.
it's hard
so
to
it's easy
sit
to score
Patrick
on.
Mahomes though. Like it's hard.
I
It's hard for me
agree.
to
Like
do.
that's what I said. It's. I thought you might look at me like you
Nah.
don't put Patrick Mahomes on the bench, which I get. I'd never put Russell Wilson on the bench either. But just because of matchup sakes,
And their
like,
defense, like
Tan-
Tennessee's defense.
I think Tannehill might go for 30 this week,
He could. I thought
especially if he throws it to AJ Brown, which is always a good idea. So if you're going to call him up, tell him to throw it to Brown.
I say don't reinvent the wheel.
Which I almost
just buy one.
I didn't mean
Yeah.
to pitch you in a thinking wheel here, but
I've been thinking about it.
JT and I almost had a deal with Tannehill
Yeah, we did.
because I was looking at Tannehill this week. It's great, but then I looked. He says he plays Indy and I think Chicago 3 out of the next 5 weeks. Plays Indy twice and Chicago once, and that's not a great matchup. But he's looked really good. But this week, you don't get many better matchups than
Yeah.
Cincinnati. I mean,
Just
if you want to
because
just
that
drop,
offense can
if you
score.
want to drop Patty, I'm not saying anybody's going to pick him up. I'm not going to because I don't have enough fat.
We said that.
I don't know, but everybody else in the league that has more than me would put it in. I imagine over me.
Not everybody.
Sorry.
I would.
But people that do have more than me would probably do it.
Okay. All right. Well,
That's fair.
Yeah,
all right. So who do y'all take?
I'm going to go you, but I just know Jordan's going to win.
I'm taking Ron Weasley. Freaking redheaded wizard, man. I don't
I had to
understand it.
think. Playing against Ron
All right.
Weasley.
The good thing about
Who
it
is this guy?
is if I pick Jordan to win and he loses, I got a chance to move up in the standings.
We're gonna
All you
let
got to
him
do,
win.
yeah, all you would have to do is just win, right? Because you got more points than him.
I don't
Yeah,
know, not
Jordan's
more.
got
The
like
past
ninth
2
in the
weeks,
league.
I think I've been going
8th or
down
9th
in
in the
points.
league.
Yeah, I still do, but yeah.
I'm going to lose all that ground I gave him last week.
Yeah. But if Jordan loses and I win, I go to first.
That's what you're hoping for.
That's what I'm hoping for.
That's what he wants.
That's what he wants.
That's what I really, really want. I'll tell you what I really want.
Where you got, Jake?
I got JT. I'm a big running back game guy. I think those two will go for over 20 each.
Jordan's luck runs out this week, boys.
Joshua Scott.
Take him, Thaddeus, taking himself. Out of boy.
I kind of want you to pull the balls move and put Tannehill in there. I'm really kind of pushing this now.
Kind of want you to pull the balls, move, and trade Mahomes to me.
Dude, Mahomes is available to anybody that wants him and that is willing to pay enough for him.
The McCaffrey situation.
Yeah, I've thought about trading. I've thought about packaging Mahomes and Kelsey together, but I got to get something big in return.
I'll trade Kittle and Russell Wilson.
Send one out, buddy. I'm willing to bite
You want,
like a hungry fish under that water, just waiting for that
I don't-
water to come
you
down.
want Russell Wilson and
I love Russell Wilson. Kittle.
I
I don't like
don't.
Kittle as much as I like Hunter Henry and T.J. Hawkinson,
Russell
but
Wilson's good, man. His personality just golly.
it's unlimited.
I just want to punch him in the face every day of the week he gets out there and talks.
I
He's the Chrissy Teigen of males.
no,
He doesn't have the
no,
bus.
Yes, he's that crazy.
He doesn't have the bust potential, if you know what I'm saying.
He is. That's
You know that's not true.
man, I swear to it, stand by.
You know who's the no?
Oh,
no, go ahead. Go
I'll
ahead.
say I'm jealous of both of them.
We've got 2 minutes left.
Russell Wilson gets
Go
to
ahead.
hang out with Sierra. Chrissy Teigen gets to hang out with LL Cool J at work, and then John Legend at home.
I can't stand John Legend.
What's that got to do with my
So
comparison?
that's the male version.
Is it because we're just ordinary people?
No.
Is that the reason?
Who?
Because we're just ordinary people.
we don't know which way to go.
We're ordinary gentlemen, though.
We're
And
legal.
that sets us apart.
Ha,
Legal.
ha, ha.
Back
Full
to
circle,
fantasy.
fella.
Yeah, okay. Matchup of the week.
What?
Scorp, Andrew Sperry versus bye week Steve Reitmeyer. Close matchup. Live projection reads 123 to 120. Let's go. Quarterback position. Justin Herbert
Best in the
versus
league.
at Denver versus Josh Allen against New England. Who you taking? All right, I'll start.
Come on, dog.
I'm going to take Josh Allen.
Hughes. Okay. That's fair.
Thought we got close.
Allen.
Herbert, dog.
Of course.
You know this. Man.
Brian, what you thinking?
New England has no D-backs this week. It's Josh Allen all day. He's going to run all over him. He's going to pass all over him.
I think I'll both of them are division games.
There's a chance for Herbert to fall back down to earth because he's been lighting it up for the past 4 or 5 weeks.
You know what that's called?
Shoes on the other foot.
No. I mean, I guess maybe regression to the mean.
But he doesn't have a mean because he's a rookie, so you don't know. This could
But
be.
But he's going to level out. Like, he has to level out at some point.
I mean, he's already leveled up, though.
Okay.
Because he wasn't even supposed to play this year.
All right, I'll take Josh Allen. You take Justin Herbert. Tomato, tomato. Hey, Friday spice of life. Let's all be friends. All right, next, Tyreek Hill, DK Metcalf.
Metcalf.
Metcalf. I think Tyreek Hill's overrated.
Metcalf. I'll take Metcalf.
I'll go Tyreek Hill just to be opposite.
The only thing I'll worry about in that one is I feel like Tyreek's just got to get his work done in the first half.
Yes, he just has to get his work done on one pass.
That's true. That's true.
But Metcalf can do that as well.
Metcalf's not going to have another bad week.
Are we going to talk about him hawking Buda Baker?
Let's talk about it. Be about it.
Good Lord, that dude looked like
The way he was
his
striving.
strides were taking up 5 yards at a time.
Have y'all? All right, let me ask you a question. This may seem off topic, but hear me out. Have y'all played the zombie part of Warzone?
Yes, once
Okay.
or one.
There's zombies running after you. That's what Buda Baker looked like when he looked up and he said, "Oh no!"
Yeah.
That's what it looked like.
That's fair.
One of those zombies chasing after you because, dude, he was flying.
He was like Buda Baker had what a 10-yard head start because I think Metcalf was halfway in the end zone and he picked the ball off at like the 5.
Here's something I really like to point out about that whole game and situation there. He had a horrible game.
Yep.
But maybe made one of the most important plays to force overtime because they stalled out. They went for it on 4th and goal and didn't get it because he chased them down.
Right.
Like he could easily just quit on that play. Like, I mean, Wilson wasn't going to catch him. He was running and then realized I don't have a chance and kind of pulled up. And Metcalf passed him like, I got him, dog. Like, I'm going to chase him down. And, that's just kind of like,
Who cares?
Teammate move.
Yeah, well, and I think a big part of that is kind of playing with Russell Wilson, who kind of always has been like a leader and like really kind of inspired the people around him to play 110% all the time.
He was a prima donna at Ole Miss.
Was he really?
Yes.
Like
that was why
his
he
attitude
failed.
and stuff wasn't great at Ole Miss. Everybody's like, all he cares about is how he looks and all that kind of stuff. He looks pretty daggum good as an NFL player. He's like looks like legit.
Is that why he didn't go as high as maybe?
Yeah, because he was like 6'4", ran out 4 whatever.
Yeah, because that sounds like
he's a
Feels
physical
like
freak.
an offensive
yeah,
end.
but they're like he's got stone hands, which everyone's like, have you watched this film?
And
He
I
talk
heard
a lot.
I heard people calling him like Laquan Treadwell 2.0.
Yeah.
Just because they went to the same college doesn't mean that they're the same player.
And he was the number 2 on that team in college.
AJ Brown was legitimately the number 1.
Yeah, AJ Brown was the number 1.
And they still couldn't win anything.
They suck.
Yeah,
They put up a lot of points. Their defense was
Just
awful.
terrible.
No.
they played in the SEC
They had a good
with
OC.
Georgia and
The offensive
Alabama and
coordinator was
Auburn.
really good.
Okay.
Longo, Carolina boy.
All right, next one. Mike Evans versus Kenny
Galladay?
Galladay. Kenny Galladay, Mike Evans. Who you taking?
Take him just to make him
Do
mad.
it.
Just
Evans.
say his name to make him mad.
Because he's going against. He don't have a good matchup against Indy.
Yeah, Mike Evans going against New York Giants on Monday Night Football.
Who's got a bad matchup against Indy?
Kenny.
Kenny G.
I'll back you up.
Kenny G.
I'll back you up.
Smooth saxophone routes, Kenny
Galladay.
G.
There you go. There you go.
I was with you.
Yeah, Galladay.
I'm all about Galladay, but Mike Evans, I said it a couple weeks ago. When Godwin plays, he doesn't have good numbers. When Godwin's out, Mike Evans becomes a stud again, and
Mike
Godwin
Evans
is
must have had a good year.
Yeah.
man.
Godwin is out with the finger injury. I
Mm.
think he had surgery.
Yeah,
or something
surgery
on the
on
finger.
Monday.
Out of
Evans.
nowhere. We were discussing that.
He broke it on the touchdown catch.
But there was nothing. And then all of a sudden you get an update.
Yeah.
Surgery.
Almond's out after finger surgery.
See, my thing is, I thought that you should just tape the fingers together
All right,
and you
Ditka.
go out there and play.
All right, Ditka. I'm with you.
Yeah, I thought that's what they used to do.
No, they pamper him now.
Catered.
Can't hold their bows.
I'm going Evans because Galladay has a bad matchup against Indy.
Okay, I'm going to take Galladay because I think Tampa's going to run. I think Tampa's going to run down the throats of New York, and that Detroit-Indy game I think will be a little bit more competitive. And they're calling for high winds in New York, and so that just makes me I guess that may just move the needle slightly.
And the win doesn't matter in Detroit or Indy because they're both.
Right, and so that moves the needle slightly. I'll take Galladay. All right, DJ Moore has already played for Steve Reitmeyer by a week. Put up 6.5. Just Allen Robinson, number 2, outperformed 6.5.
Is he playing? Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
they cleared concussion
Yeah.
protocol today.
I
Gotcha.
think he just put him in. Like since we've been doing the
Yeah, he
podcast
did.
because he had Claypool in a while ago.
Mhm. So everybody taking Robinson over
Yeah,
6.5.
Robinson's going to beat
Yes.
6.5.
Yes.
Yeah.
I literally almost said something a while ago, like, why does Scorp still have Robinson on his bench? But he doesn't now because he cleared.
Yeah, he
So-
cleared concussion protocol this afternoon.
Yep. So that one's easy.
Yeah, that one's pretty simple. I think
And
this next one's
Even if he didn't, I wouldn't have had Claypool in there. I probably would have put in Jalen Rager just to see what he can do in Philly.
you
That
can,
was just me.
but you can see what they can do on the bench too, though.
Yeah, but you saw what Claypool did with Johnson and Juju healthy, which was not much. The 3 games they've all 3 been healthy.
You saying put him in the lineup?
Yeah, Jalen Rager over Claypool.
He was
Before,
saying
because if
Robinson
Robinson
had
didn't clear,
he
I
liked Rager.
I
over
like
Claypool.
Rager over Claypool.
When it was still up in the air.
Okay.
He's not a big Claypool guy.
I love Claypool. I just don't see his role in that offense as the number 3.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. Running back 1 matchup: Alvin Kamara versus Darrell Henderson Jr.
Come on.
Hands down.
Yeah. Kamara.
Actually,
Yeah.
I actually kind of like the Henderson because if Tua struggles and LA gets up big, maybe Henderson gets a lot of carries.
Well, that's all up to
Chicago's defense has been good here lately.
that's all up to the coach because Henderson, when he gets carries, he's effective. It's just
Tell you
do
what,
they
man.
give him the ball over Malcolm Brown?
If you're playing New Orleans, who are you taking away, especially with Michael Thomas not in and Drew Brees' arm looking like a noodle?
I just
You try to take away Kamara
Look,
every
I
game.
agree. Kamara is the best player in that matchup. I'm not saying, but I'm
Devil's
saying I
advocate.
think that's going to be I think that's going to be a closer matchup than just name purposes.
But question, I've never played football, but how do you take away a running back that's that versatile? Do you take him away in the ground game or the passing game? Or
I load the box with spots.
okay,
I
don't know.
I would bring safety
What's that
down
guy
and
doing in the
one-on-one on
tree?
the outside and say, if you can throw it deep, Breeze, go ahead.
Yeah, I just don't know how. I was about to say, I guess he's so quick and shifty. If you got everybody towards the line of scrimmage, he beats one of those linebackers. Or do you run a lot of sub packages and have a corner and a safety
you can
on him?
even run a bunch of cover two with underneath stuff.
You know who else is
staying
shifty?
in flats and, and linebackers that run the line.
He's a matchup nightmare.
I was just
Yeah, but I mean, not overthinking it.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying.
I would take Kamara.
It's
but
not
I
gonna be a
play
blowout.
devil's advocate
It could
there.
be closer than we think.
right, but it's going to be Kamara.
All right. David Montgomery
Going
for Reitmeyer going against Mike Davis, who put up 8.2 on Thursday Night Football. Does David Montgomery outscore 8.2?
No.
I don't know. I don't know what Chicago's offense.
He has to score to get that.
Yeah, it's touchdown dependent.
I think it's a wash. I think it's a wash.
I don't really want to pick.
I don't see him.
I think that 8.2 is a good number. I think
it is too. Yeah. I think
Is Dalvin play?
Brian, do you have a I don't know, strong opinion either way?
It's touchdown dependent. Chicago's going to throw the ball more. I'm going to say Mike Davis ends up having the bigger number here.
Okay. All right, fair enough. TJ Hawkinson versus Eric Ebron.
Second best tight end in football.
Who?
Hawkinson.
Where do you get this? Where do you get these things from?
Just got a hunch.
Why TJ Hawkinson? Why is he the second best tight end in football?
He's just getting it
Because
going.
he had a touchdown last week.
I'm right, he did. Game winner.
Boosts his
confidence. He's on the way up. No, he was really good in college, and I think he's just coming into his own now. He's not yet, but he's got the possibility to be.
Okay.
Went to a school that really uses tight ends.
Who's
Tight end factory over there at Iowa.
Iowa. Okay.
Whereas I'm pretty sure Kittle went there. Hawkinson went there. Noah Fant went there. They just turned them out.
Did the Hawkinson and Fant play at the same time?
That's what Iowa does.
Okay. I'm just
Yeah.
curious.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They're both really good.
All right. Okay. So Hawkinson versus Ebron, Ryan. I guess you're taking Hawkinson hands down then.
Of course.
Ebron's touchdown dependent. I don't think he gets as many targets as what Hawkinson will, and Hawkinson's just as likely to get a touchdown. So I'll take him as well.
Yep.
I'll take Hawkinson. Ebron, I just can't trust him. And Hawkinson has a little bit more solidified role in Detroit versus Ebron as being, the fourth option, maybe?
Maybe. Yeah. You got to go Hawkinson here.
Okay. This last one, the flex, I think this could be interesting. Ronald Jones against Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook is, I guess, officially questionable, but they're saying he's going to play.
They said for sure.
They said he's going to play, and Zimmer said he had no restrictions on playing time. So I think they just need to remove the questionable tag. If you don't have any restrictions, then you're definitely going to play.
Right.
Okay. So is it definitely Dalvin then?
No, because they're playing the Tampa Bay's playing the Giants, who's got awful. They can get up big early, and that dude's gone over 100 yards a lot here lately.
Now,
Ronald Jones played.
Ronald Jones had one drop last week, and they benched him for Fournette for the rest of the game.
Did they do that again?
Yeah, but he had a drop. It wasn't like he fumbled.
Yeah.
He just dropped a pass, and he didn't get as much run. So do they just forgive and forget and let him get back into the role he had the 3 or 4 weeks prior, or do they mix in Fournette again?
Bruce Arians is kind of a mind game guy.
He's turned into a Belichick.
I don't know. Like, even the stuff he said about AB, like, when they signed him, like, you better be a team guy or I'll cut his ass right away. Like, he's very, he better come in and accept the role I give him. And if he doesn't, or if he complains once, I'm done with him.
5 or 6 weeks ago, he
And
said AB wasn't a good fit for the team.
And he was like, I wouldn't sign him.
Bruce Arians sounds insecure to me.
I feel like he thinks
He's not a handsome man.
I feel like Arians also thinks he's, mentally so far ahead of other coaches,
Yeah.
and I don't really think he is. He didn't
right.
do that impressive a job in Arizona. That's why
He's a my way or the highway type guy. And it's like you're not going to do anything other than you're not taking credit because I'm going to take credit for whatever Tom does. Even though Tom's the one that got Gronk there, he's the one that got LaShawn McCoy there, he's the one that got AB there, but he's not giving him credit for any of those.
Yeah, I think it's difficult to do that with a veteran team.
For sure.
A younger team, yeah, because they're
That's why some
They
coaches
I
are
think
better
you-
fits in
I
college.
think he even
'cause they
tried
got
to do
egos.
that with a younger team, and none of them bought into him because he was kind of a dick.
That's
dog.
true. I
Yeah,
think
that's
that's
what-
part of
kinda what
their.
Matt
He tries
Patricia-
to be Belichick.
That's what
Yeah,
Matt
He
Patricia
does,
did.
but
He's
he's not.
Detroit hasn't worked that well.
Okay, well, Ronald
This-
Jones this week. Are you taking him, Jake?
No, I'm taking that.
I'm taking.
Okay.
I'm going for a wash.
Going for a wash?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
Within a 4-point margin.
Okay.
All right, I think Reitmeyer's trying to get cute with this. I think that Dalvin Cook should be in this running back one to make it a closer matchup because I think we'd have had more conversation if it was Kamara Cook.
I think we'd, for
I
sure.
probably
for
would have
sure.
took Cook over Kamara.
Yeah. But
All right,
the
let's
fact
do-
that
let's-
he's guaranteed for me on the
Over Henderson.
the flex over Jones. But
Can
yeah,
we
if you
just
have
say,
Cook versus Kamara, that's
can
a
we
closer
say three
matchup.
running backs versus three running backs real quick?
Sure.
And say who wins that matchup? Because we already have Davis locked in at 8.2. So do we
Okay.
think Henderson, Montgomery, Cook can beat Kamara 8.2 and Jones?
No.
No. Yeah.
So it's basically just Kamara and Henderson versus Jones and Cook because Montgomery's getting 8.2, boys.
I'll take the Scorp end of it.
I'm gonna take bye week.
I'll take the bye weekend of it because I think it might be a
Well, then we're
Henderson
back in a
game.
wash.
Back in the wash. We did all that.
Spin cycle, boys.
Cleaning.
Wash is almost over.
All right, then the
Laundry jokes even.
last.
Bless you.
All right, so the last one is defense is Tampa Bay defense against the Giants, New Orleans against Chicago.
I got you.
I think that's basically a wash.
I
bro.
did too.
Man,
Because
I think New Orleans is getting real high praise going into this week defensively.
You think either one of these teams could get snuck up on?
I think this projection for New Orleans might be the biggest overprojection of any position. all
But
year
I think
long.
they might be getting their secondary back. That they've only had like one corner.
past
few
I'm
weeks.
not sold on this 13.3.
I could see this being a weird game where Chicago wins.
Chicago will win this game. I'm telling you, Chicago's going to win this game. Everybody keeps calling them fake all year, but they keep winning. When Carolina had those, stretches of games where they were looking like this might be a playoff contender, and then they go get Chicago and say, Carolina's got a shot here. Chicago pretty much. Carolina made a run for them, but Chicago pretty much had that game. Chicago wins so ugly. It's not
How
fun to
ugly
watch.
do they win?
It's terrible to watch them play, but they're winning.
Nick Foles gets benched in the first quarter. Mitch Trubisky comes in and leads them back, and then he starts to blow it. They put Nick Foles back in for the second time.
That's
and
his
they win.
role.
And they win.
Do you think an NFL coach would ever do that? Like, you know what? One of my quarterback, he's a starting pitcher. The other one, he's a bullpen guy.
I talked to Ramsdale, and he was talking about that exact same thing.
Legitimately, like Foles would be better. Just
Congratulations, Ron.
all right. I punt that idea.
He knows the Bears better than any of us.
He knows Green Bay better than he knows the Bears.
That's true. It would be an interesting.
You know what's going to
strategy.
happen? I've talked so much crap about David Montgomery on this show. He's going to have 2 touchdowns.
I was about to ask everyone here at the table because we kind of knocked on Montgomery. He's got Bell on the bench going against the Jets. You look at a Le'Veon getting a play this week, get maybe a touchdown or 2 and a blowout win.
I think I would rather start Swift.
If it was me, I
He's
move Cook
good.
up to the
I think
running
he
back
could
spot,
catch the ball,
and I'd start Brandon Ayuk without Debo Samuel in the game.
Start
Or
Brandon
Sam
Ayuk.
Ayuk.
Yeah, that's true.
Because
That's a
they're
good
playing
point.
Seattle's defense, who is terrible. I think they've given up the most yards
that's
in
true.
NFL history. Who's he going to pass to other than Kittle?
It's true.
himself.
And Ayuk's been doing a lot of those
Broaching it.
end arounds and stuff, so I don't know. But he's a San Fran fan, so if he knows the 49ers better than we do,
You gotta think he knows San Fran better than us.
yeah,
Which is just what
Kinda
you
makes
said. I
sense.
just said it differently.
yeah.
That's what we do.
So
All right. So basically calling a wash there. All right. So who we taking? Scorp versus bye week 7v9 matchup. Jake, who you taking? Scorp, Reitmeyer. Who you taking? Who you taking, Jake? Score
If
price.
the lineup is now, I'd take. Let me get through my thought process. I'm not ready for this. 'Cause
Okay.
I would probably go on Scorp, but if
I'll
he
go.
makes a
Ryan,
change,
Yeah, while
I'll
he's
go.
thinking, I'm
Who you
going.
taking?
I'm going Scorp.
Okay, Jake, back to you. Who you
Go
taking?
somewhere else.
If Reitmeyer had a Charger, maybe.
All right, so you're looking at this matchup. We were talking about getting close to playoff time. This is a huge game for both of them.
They both need to win.
Really resets the whole playoff format.
I hope they tie.
Scorp needs it more than Reitmeyer.
So you think his want will bring him through?
Yeah, I
I'm gonna
wish.
say Reitmeyer probably wins this week.
Okay.
Won't be surprised if Scorp wins it all.
You can't hedge.
Jake, back to you. Who you picking?
I think if he makes a lineup change, I might take Reitmeyer, but as it is now, I'm gonna take Scorp.
All right, so like with the Ayuk, maybe.
Yeah,
that
I really
Ryan's
like
talking
the
about?
Ayuk play.
That was a good point. Good job, Ryan. So
I don't think
This is my David Montgomery hate run.
So what do you get me to write down?
I'd Scorp. I'm gonna take Scorp.
Right, Scorp. I will take Scorp as well. All right. So
Another question.
Yeah.
If Scorp's trade goes through, does he take Ronald Jones out and put Boston Scott in?
Ooh.
it could
I hope he
against
doesn't
Dallas.
do that.
Because Boston Scott has played
Dallas
on the
sucks.
Cowboys.
He
Yeah.
doesn't do that.
That sucks. Boston Scott's pretty good. At least I think so. I think I'm the only one,
You might be.
but that's okay.
But it's all right.
All right. So rundown real quick. Jake, me and you have exactly the same picks.
Top cat. You always go.
Brian, your only difference between me and Jake is you just took Reitmeyer over Scorp, and Ryan, you have
I'm going rogue, man.
Yeah.
I don't care about you guys.
you got the same.
As far as your picks, I care about you as men.
You've got the same as me and Jake, except you picked Jordan over me. So
Yeah.
screw you.
Hey, how many times have I picked Jordan since we've been doing these picks? Just the last 3 weeks.
So
and
you
lost
did it.
one.
So you want me to win? Thank you.
I said it's a win-win.
Thank you, Ryan.
You're welcome, buddy.
All right. Well, hey, happy Halloween, everybody. Have a good night.
Enjoy
Be
that
safe.
blue moon tonight, not the beer. The one in the sky.
Enjoy your beer. Don't listen to him.
He'll do whatever you tell him to. Hey, pop your elbow.
All right. Stop.
That was left too.
That's
I know,
terrible.
every time.
He's switching.
All right. Well, on that note, happy Halloween. Happy Halloweek 8.
We did it again.
Got him.
What are we gonna do for Turkey Day? What are we gonna call it?
We'll call it fantasy football giving.
Feast day.
Everybody enjoy your Halloween.
Oh, it had to be football related. Whatever.
Needed to be.
Later, boys
Later.
and girl.
Right there at an hour 30, hour 31.
He about lost it because we were talking about throwing a pass to yourself.